Today I want to talk about elevated ferritin on a carnivore diet. This is something that has been brought to my attention multiple times, either from clients or just people on Instagram asking, should I be concerned if my ferritin came back elevated? I just ran some labs, I've been doing carnivore, and what's interesting is that a lot of these people, I'm either working with them already because they have autoimmune disease, just overall inflammation in the body from so many various reasons. Ferritin is not just a marker for iron, and this is the overall misunderstanding. Ferritin is an acute phase reactant, so basically when you have an infection, your ferritin can be elevated. When you have autoimmune disease, ferritin can be elevated. If you have any inflammation, systemic inflammation in the body, ferritin will likely be elevated. Other things that can elevate ferritin: metabolic syndrome, liver disease, kidney disease. So it doesn't just mean that you have high iron. The body has really incredible mechanisms to regulate the amount of iron that we absorb. Hepcidin is produced by the liver, and hepcidin is responsible for regulating the amount of iron that you absorb. And you literally just go to the bathroom and the rest is wasted out. You only absorb what you need when hepcidin is working. Something that can interfere with hepcidin is insulin. And so this is why you will see people with diabetes having iron overload, because their elevated insulin or hyperinsulinemia is interfering with that hepcidin. It's not doing its job properly. When you're eating a carnivore diet, you should, if you're doing it the right way, you should be supporting your body at a biological, biochemical level where your body is sensitive to that hepcidin, you're insulin sensitive, hepcidin sensitive, your body is doing what it needs to do. And this is basically my focus in my coaching, is systemic healing, so that all of these mechanisms that were put into place by our creator are working properly. So we already have a protective mechanism to prevent us from absorbing too much iron. You could run further tests. If you had ferritin come back high, what I would do is run your kidney, your liver enzymes, and then anything else from your past that you might be concerned about. So if you were someone who had cancer in your past and it's not a problem anymore and your ferritin came back elevated, I would run those tests to look into cancer. Just be sure that it hasn't come back. Run some autoimmune labs, run your thyroid antibodies, look at your symptoms. That's another big thing that plays into the next tests that you'll run. But I just went through this with a client of mine who has been having some symptoms that to me stood out as thyroid issues. And she kept going to her doctor asking for thyroid labs, and he would only run TSH. And he would not run a full thyroid panel because he wasn't comfortable. And so I encouraged her to run some labs. Even if it's out of pocket, get a full thyroid panel, including reverse T3 as well as your antibodies. Sure enough, she had antibodies. So she is dealing with some Hashimoto's, and that is why her ferritin is elevated. And it makes total sense, but you would never have known that if you hadn't run the labs and seen under the surface what's going on. You might have to seek out a better doctor or even a nurse practitioner. They are usually more willing to run more extensive labs. I always find nurse practitioners when I run extensive labs so that it's covered by insurance. And if you need to go out of pocket, be sure that you're being informed about the labs you're running, but I do think it's worth it in certain situations. I do not require labs for you to work with me. I work by symptoms. Like this person, I was able to look at her symptoms and pick up, this is going on in the thyroid. I'm usually pretty good at that, but I'm not perfect. But the good news is, if you support the body at a systemic level, like I said before, these mechanisms that were put in place, we are created to thrive. We are fearfully and wonderfully made. These mechanisms will work properly. So if we can focus on supporting the body, you shouldn't have to worry about many things. And that's really what worked out with me. I stopped taking all supplements. I stopped testing. I just kept my head down and did only meat. And everything was reversed in 1 year. And I gained 65 healthy pounds. And I was amazed, even still, when I went back and did my labs, and there was nothing. Not even remission, like totally reversed. Hashimoto's, Lyme disease, crest scleroderma, all of these things that are so-called uncurable. And so I just want to encourage anyone out there, if you are getting some lab work that is alarming to you, I am happy to interpret it if you're working with me, but don't go down the rabbit hole. Don't seek out Dr. Google. You will be triggered. There is so much more to uncover under the surface, and it's just going to be based on your symptoms, your history, and it can be really dangerous to jump to conclusions. Your doctor might likely jump to conclusions. You know, I could think of so many examples where someone had high cholesterol and the doctor blames it on eating only meat. Sometimes you're better off not even mentioning it to your doctor and just sharing, hey, I'm eating a more low carb approach. Something that's true, but you don't need the full truth in there because it might be scary to them and they don't want to get in trouble. I hope that this helps someone out there. If you are truly concerned about hemochromatosis, you can run genetic tests. There are further tests that you can run if your ferritin comes back elevated. Just know that ferritin doesn't only refer to iron overload. Hi you guys, so my fall retreat is more than halfway booked. I know that you guys may have already heard of it. We're gonna have a dream team of special guests. We have Ken Berry, Maria Emmerich, Kelly Hogan, Neisha Berry, and Lisa Wiedemann. So we're all gonna be together. This is gonna be invaluable fellowship, breakthroughs, learning, eating the highest quality, best, most delicious meats like Billy Doe meats, North Star bison. I'm gonna be making my carnivore treats, carnivore brownies, carnivore carrot cake, carnivore ice cream. And then of course we'll have Maria with us, so she's gonna do some cooking with us. It's gonna be so awesome. For those of you who don't do sweeteners, we will be with Emily Harveau and Kelly Hogan as well. They don't do sweeteners. Lisa doesn't do sweeteners, so we're gonna have options for everyone. It's just going to be absolutely incredible. So we're in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, October 11th through 16th. This is when the fall colors are peaking. The weather is phenomenal. If you're interested, please email me directly at rebecca@tailoredketo.health. I'll send you the information. I'll send you an invoice when you're ready to pay. The only way to reserve your spot is with payment, and then you'll be locked in. I hope to see you there.